Hello and welcome to another episode of WHITT Sessions. What is WHITT Sessions? I'm so glad you asked. WHITT Sessions is a pop-up conversation in a pop-up location with a surprise guest. And here is someone whom I have been connected with for a very long time, let's say freshman year in high school. But with the pandemic, we haven't been able to be connected as much as we would like to. But I am joined by my client, my friend, my classmate, and my sister in the Garza movement, Katrina Hill of Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company. How are you?
I'm doing great, Chelsea. How are you?
I'm good. So I want to make sure everybody can hear us. Thumbs up, right? We are we're in Hammond today, in your office.
Yes.
And I know for the past couple of months, we have been practicing, well, we're still practicing our social distancing and our masks. And I couldn't help but think about you through this entire ordeal for the simple fact that when you think about insurance and the pandemic and people passing away suddenly, and I know there have been countless stories of people and families who have had to bury their loved ones and there's no coverage. So let's just start this conversation. Talk to me about any types of experiences that you've had or read about, or just your overall thoughts about insurance and the pandemic.
Well, it's great to be back in the office. Over almost 3 months that I haven't been here. So today is the first day that I'm back.
Oh, okay.
It's great. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. So it is great to be back here. You know, during the pandemic, business did not stop. And
Okay.
you know, that is a true blessing. It didn't stop. You know, it won't stop because this is something that everyone, each and every last one of us need this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just grateful and thankful that I partnered with the #1 final expense company in the nation. So business didn't stop for the company, business didn't stop for me. Actually, business was pretty booming.
I was thinking that. I was like, you know, as I was going down the list of my clients, some of them had to cancel with me or put things on hold for the simple fact that the services that they provide are things that had to be closed, whether it was a venue or whether it required people gathering, and I totally understood. And I was going down the list, and then I got to Trina, and I was like, no, not Katrina. Trina will probably go up because I feel like times like these make people think even more about emergencies. Would you agree?
Yeah, really, business did not go on here in the office, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I partnered with the #1 final expense company in the nation, so they made it possible for each and every agent to still be able to connect and reach people. We were able to do it over the phone.
Okay.
So here I am at home in my cozy space and helping families. I mean, how cool is that?
Very cool.
To be at home and still helping families, you know, during this pandemic. So that's what I was able to do. And not only that, I've had people to reach me that I've talked to maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. You know, during this time, it gave people to reflect and to think about what's going on in the world and where they are.
Yeah.
You know, because with life insurance, it's a preparedness. It's something that you prepare for because we all have a day that we're born. When were you born, Chelsea?
I was born, oh boy, now who's asking the questions here? I was born March 30th, 19...
Right. Okay, so if I turn it around and say, Chelsea, when are you going to die?
I have no idea when I want to die.
Exactly.
And I don't want to know, but I do want to know that when I do and when my loved ones do, we're prepared for whatever their final wishes and whatever my final wishes are. The money is there and it's easy for them to just bury me because it's already going to be a burden enough to mourn my loss.
Correct.
Right? Y'all gonna be
Correct.
just devastated, right? So I want to be able to have that in place, and that's what you do.
And that's exactly what I do. And during this pandemic, and just every day, people think of that. They channel that because We just don't know.
We don't know.
Death can occur today, tomorrow, next week, next year. We don't know. So that's why it's always best to be prepared. I always say it's better to be 5 years too early with this than 5 minutes too late.
5 years too early rather than 5 minutes too late. I love that.
Because of the uncertainty,
yeah.
You know, and what we offer is peace of mind.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to have for your family. You want them to have a peace of mind knowing that on the worst day of your family's lives, everything is taken care of. And that's exactly what we do. We help you prepare. We help you to put a plan together for that time where your loved ones don't have to worry about anything because everything's taken care of.
And I could just say from personal experience, my father is a customer or client of Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company, and we're not worried about anything, although he's only 89 and he is in great health and just strength and everything. But of course, it makes sense to have these things in place so that my siblings and our spouses don't have to scramble and worry about, okay, so what did he say he wanted? What are we gonna do? You know, those types of things. Now, the situation with the pandemic, I can't help but to touch on that even more. There are people, even to this day, that contract the virus and then they die suddenly. So there's like no time to circle back around and start digging for policies and things like that. So would you not recommend to families during this time to have that type of conversation where we sit around, and do you help facilitate those conversations sometimes with families?
Yes, I do. Like I said, during this pandemic, I've had people to call me and reach out to me because we all at home, and that's something that they have done with their families, to talk to them, to see. And they were like, oh, I thought my aunt was covered already. I thought she had this. She don't got nothing, Trina. Can you help me?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, we assume a lot of times. They're like, well, she was responsible on her job, so I figured when she retired, everything just covered and ready to go, but that's not always the case.
That's not always the case. You know, a lot of companies' jobs, yes, they do have life insurance, but a lot of them, you can't take it with you.
Right. If
when
you
leave that job, you leave, you get fired, or the company go out of business. It's not portable.
Okay.
Most of them are not portable, so you can't take it with you. That's why it's best to have something in place. You know, just had different conversations with people during this pandemic, and it's just unfortunate that a lot of people did pass away. Some people did, and you know, not only with the pandemic, but just in death itself, with families. So many family members passed away.
It seemed like it was heightened even when people passed away that had nothing to do with the pandemic. I think because we were sheltered in place, we were looking like, man, it seems like it's a lot of people passing away. And my prayer, I always think, when I read something, I'm like, ooh, I hope they were covered. I hope the family has everything in place. And to add on to that, Trina, when the funeral arrangements were such that we only could have a certain amount of people, so that's an added stress, not to mention not being covered. So it is so important for people to get in touch with you to find out what they need to do to get a policy in place, and it's affordable. Talk and tell people how they can get in touch with you, and like person to person, or they can call, and you're doing Zoom and all that stuff.
Well, at the moment, I am back out. Yay! So I can meet with you what's called face-to-face, you know, interaction. We sit down, we talk. You
social distance.
Yes, still social distancing though. You talk, you tell me what's needed, you know, because everybody is different. What you may need, Susie over here may not need that. What you can afford,
Amber might not be able to afford.
may not, or Miss Amber may not can afford that. You know, everybody's budget is different. That's why I love what I do, because I'm able to sit with you and I'm able to help you come up with a plan that's going to comfortably fit your budget.
I like
you
that.
Don't want something that you're struggling to have to take care of every month. You know, you want something that you can comfortably take care of, and then as times get better, hey, let me just go ahead and increase.
Let me up that. Let me get the Cadillac package, Trina.
You can do that. I've had a lot of that happen with me during this pandemic time. A lot of my clients call me. You I know I got this 2 years ago, and I said I was going, you know what, I've been sitting here thinking, let's do this.
Yeah, and that's what I like too about the service that you provide, that not only do you come in and set up the policy, but you circle back, follow up to do the checkups to say, let's just do a policy check to see have things changed. Did you want to add somebody? Like you said, do you want to up it? Do you need to decrease it? Or whatever the case. I like that because a lot of times people will sign up with an agent and then you don't hear from them anymore. It's like, now who's my agent again?
Well, I can personally say, shout out to all my clients that's watching, hey y'all, I love you. And they can attest. They gonna hear from me. You're gonna hear from me because I am your agent. I am, I'm concerned about things that's happening in your life. Throughout this pandemic, I can proudly say, I took a day, really more than a day, but I started one day, like, let me just call my clients. Throughout the whole thing, each and every last one of my clients heard from me. I wanted to hear their voice. I wanted to see how they were holding up during this time. We're at home. Most people were quarantined by themselves with no one.
That's right, especially your older clients.
Yes. So I called a lot of my older clients. They were so happy to hear from me. They was like, hey, and some of them I had just seen, but yeah, I'm checking on them. And they don't have nobody there. They want to talk. Okay, Miss Sue, I'm going to call you back. Give me 2 hours. Let me take care of this, but I'm going to call you back. And I did that, and that was the highlight.
Of their day.
That was the highlight of some people's day. They was just like, oh my God, I'm so glad you called me. I was thinking about you. And to hear people say they're thinking about you.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
That's amazing.
So now, speaking of amazing, you are an amazing agent.
Thank you.
That you continue to perform, you continue to set records and win trips and awards and walk down red carpets. I'm always trying to jump in your suitcase to go with you when you win these trips. So 2 things I'm going to ask you to do. First, I'm going to ask you to give your contact information for those who are tuning in, and we'll add it to the comments later. So if they want to call you or jump online or follow you. And then the second thing, I want you to briefly discuss, if people want to do what you do, how they can get started on working for the best.
Okay. Well, you can reach me at, and I'm posted everywhere, 219-801-2393. And keep in mind, this is the same number my one and only, my baby, my son, calls me on. So this is my personal phone line. So you can reach me, 219-801-2393. I am on Facebook, Katrina Hills, Insurance Agent. Thanks so much for that page. Thank you, Chelsea, because I have nothing to do with it there. For those that are interested in getting involved in it, I am hiring. The team is growing. So many people want something that they can do on their own. They don't have to punch the clock. You don't have to answer when you're going to come to work, what time you're going to leave. This is something you do in your time.
But I would say you have to be ambitious, though.
You do.
Okay.
I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
You do. You have to be ambitious. You have to be, a go-getter, want to set goals and all that. You have to get your insurance license as well. You can always reach out to me, talk to me. I'll give you the steps of what you need to do to become an insurance agent.
All right. Well, I am so proud of you and all that you have done. And again, Katrina is now back to doing socially distanced face-to-face appointments. And they also can come to your office here. What's the address to your office?
Yes, you can always come here. I am in Hammond. I am at 5209 Holman Avenue, Suite 3500.
It's nice here. They have coffee, y'all. I can't wait till we sign off so I can get some coffee.
I am here centrally located right here, Holman Avenue in Hammond. We can, if you're not comfortable doing face-to-face in a home, you can meet me here at my office,
Well, that's the best of both worlds. Now I'm getting ready to get totally off subject for 2 seconds. I mentioned at the beginning of this interview that in addition to us being high school classmates, go Cougars, and colleagues and friends, that more recently we became sisters in a weight loss movement. I started with the Indiana Travis Garza Fat Loss Camp, and then Trina started, and she passed me, y'all. She started in January, I started in November, and you have just taken off. And I just wanted to call attention to how great you look. If people go back and look at different pictures, they will see the difference. And we are both committed to keeping going, right? Thank you.
Amazing.
So shout out to our other sisters in Hammond.
Yes.
Miss Bernadette, Miss Pat, to push us to keep going. But that's the great thing about it, being business owners, being controllers of our destiny, giving families peace of mind, but at the same time also taking care of ourselves.
Yes, you have to take care of yourself. Self-care, and that's just a hashtag I've been using lately. Self-care is the best thing, because if you're not right mentally, physically, you're not going to be any good to no one else.
That's so true.
So, it starts with you.
Well, congratulations on your journey. I'm following you. I'm beside you, going through it with you. And again, if you're just tuning in, I am here with my friend and my client, Mrs. Katrina Hill of Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance Company, located here in beautiful downtown Hammond, Indiana. And she can be reached at, I know the number like backwards, 219-801-2393. But we will definitely post it in the comments. Remember, it is better to be 5 years early than 5 minutes too late. So reach out to Trina to get all of your final insurance needs today. You have been watching WHITT Sessions, which is a pop-up conversation in a pop-up location with a surprise guest. I am Chelsea Whittington, and thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you soon.